Hello and welcome to the Living Life Short Discourses on the Greatest Call channel, the global voice for expanding consciousness. Our discourse today is abundance or opulence. Again, folks, our discourse today is on abundance or opulence. You know, life is abundant, and we ourselves, from our core, do know that our creative power on this plane and on this planet is absolutely unlimited. And for some contortion in our reasoning, mostly unconsciously, do bring to us the negative operations or effects of the laws governing this beautiful home, planet Earth. And these laws, like we've talked about many times, were instituted for you, me, to live abundantly. And by doing so, we cannot help ourselves but to give gratitude to the ultimate consciousness. You, me, folks, are the creative power. We do have the creative power, the highest we've known on our plane of existence. No consciousness that we are aware of do have better creative powers than you and me, folks. And what that basically means is that we can consciously create our lives desired. And one of the most important clues we should never forget is all things are meant to be conscious of. Again, ultimate consciousness the intelligence behind creation made everything around us to be conscious of. For you and me to be conscious of them first. In that case, all things around us were meant for you and me. You know, being conscious of them has different levels of definitions. For some of them, we can use them. You know, we can translate them into our daily usage and everything around us, everything that we see around us. We did arrange them. We took them from nature and arrange them into how we want to use them. The building you live in, a lot of lumber, that's from wood. Especially in the Western world, where a good portion of every building is made of lumber. It's all wood arranged in a way that we want to use them. Others were made just for us to learn from them. And many others to be admired. There are so many plants and even animals that do have incredible therapeutic or medicinal properties that when we do get sick could easily cure us. All these abounds in nature. So everything around us was made for us to be conscious of. And being conscious of them means we could either learn from them, we could just simply admire them, making life more beautiful and richer, or we could use them to better our lives like we've been doing. Our very nature is abundant from the production of semen, which contains many hundreds of millions of sperms, each of which has the capacity to be human, through almost every living being we see. We do see that the beginning of life of you and me, of each of us on the planet, was not of scarcity, but profuse abundance. Profuse abundance. Abundance run through everything around us. Everything. Even the beginning of our lives. Overproduction of what is needed. The planet, nature, produces more than needed. And the most important thing for us all to know is this: the laws of opulence or abundance are subservient to the laws of consciousness. It urged consciousness creates wherever it is directed. If and when we do direct it towards scarcity, and no abundance is acknowledged by our speck of consciousness, scarcity shall we reap. Because the ultimate law governing our being is consciousness, which you do have or are, which I do have or are or am. Consciousness creates wherever it is directed, and that is the primary law. And every law is subservient to this ultimate law, to this Papa Mama law. i.e., the ability to direct our consciousness towards anything we can conceive. So we cannot succeed by having 1 hour affirmation ritual of opulence or abundance and then go think about scarcity or ways of it, practice it in our daily life by being stingy. We can do all this if opulence of abundance is what we expect in our lives, and that is our birthright. If we do have just one opulent affirmation and go and practice scarcity, then the abundance, unfortunately, shall be long coming. Our chances of experiencing them, our chances of experiencing the abundance or opulence in life would be long coming, would be longer than needed. And the other biggest mistake we all make is to think about one or two forms of abundance or opulence. To think abundance is money, material stuff. That's one of the biggest mistakes we all do make. To define abundance in one particular way, neglecting the other many forms of abundance in life. When we critically look at creation, we do see abundance run through everything in life. Billions of stars, billions and trillions of cells in our bodies. All this shows abundance run through life effortlessly. So let us not restrict or manacle and reduce the spirit of abundance to only money or material possessions. If there is anything we can call absolute possession other than ourselves, like we talked about already. The more we define one form of opulence, the more restrictive we consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly put on the channels of opulence or abundance. Again, the more we define one or few forms of abundance, the more restrictions we unconsciously put or place on the other channels of abundance or ways of it. Some of us do have a particular channel from which we do expect abundance. When we do so, we are, from our limited capacity to think and know, we are telling or imposing on ultimate consciousness to provide one form of abundance in a particular way. And irrespective of our education, we can never be smarter than the laws that brought us into being. Wanting some amount of money from one person or one particular source. When we do so thus, we do unknowingly restrict the laws of abundance, which runs through everything around us. The next important notification to us all is that the law of abundance or opulence, just like every one of these laws, is whole, unity, meaning one part cannot be opulent, thereby neglecting or to the detriment of the others. If one part is opulent from the law, it must show in others too. Meaning you cannot help the circulation of one good thing, and be denied others, if and only if we do so with the right mindset. In this case, abundance or opulence. Like we've talked about many times on this channel, intention, and again, intention for any project before, during, must ultimately reign supreme in our creation. We cannot not be scarce, irrespective of the amount we give to others. If it is given with hunger, again, we cannot live a life of abundance irrespective of the amount we give to others. If it is given with hunger and scarcity mindset, it contravenes the law. However, no one who gives with the attitude of knowing viscerally that life is abundant would ever be denied receiving abundantly. Anyone that gives with a mindset of abundance shall ultimately receive abundance. By this definition, anyone and everyone should be abundant. Not having money enough to give should not dissuade us from practicing sharing our smiles, strength, or knowledge with others. If you don't have one thing, most of us do have the other. You don't have money, but you have the strength. You do not have the strength, but you have the knowledge. You don't have the knowledge, but money keeps on flowing to you. We always have something to share with others. And when we do so with an abundant mindset, and when we do give, knowing that abundance runs through life unendingly, opulence must show up constantly in our lives. If we can fully concentrate on our intention for giving anything we have that others may need, whether it is strength, knowledge, money, time, smile, hug, warmth, care, that energy, that mindset of abundance must translate into other facets of our lives as well. Giving off your strength with the mindset of abundance running through nature, and also with the intention of giving to yourself, which you do not expect reward, that can translate into receiving love and care from others, and money as well, great health. And we all do know, the more we use our strength, the healthier we become. The more we keep our creativity in circulation by usage, the more creative we do all become. The more we play the piano for the enjoyment of others, the better we become. The more we teach others what we know, most often than not, the better we understand and know. Everything, and again everything, kept in circulation with the mindset of abundance must, and again must always be multiplied. And that must percolate into other areas as well. Other areas as well. Abundance is your birthright, folks. It is mine as well. The entire cosmos wouldn't and cannot come into being without the law of abundance or opulence. Everything naturally gives more than enough for itself just to share. Again, everything naturally gives more than enough for itself just to share. Meaning we have more than enough. Meaning we do have more than enough. You can share part of your blood. I can as well. There are even our bodies that we can share with others who need them the most. And blood is one of them. The trees. Whenever we need to be healed from our sickness, we can take some leaves from the trees. They have more than they need. When we take some to heal ourselves, most trees do not die. They keep on producing more. Even for some, the more you take the leaves, the more they develop them, the stronger they get, and the healthier they eventually grow. Opulence run through the sea to the land and to the earth. As previously articulated, we shall glean the best knowledge and narratives from the sages, scientists, prophets, and poets for the singular purpose of expounding your consciousness and my consciousness. Again, folks, opulence is your birthright and my birthright. We just have to enter into the spirit of it. We should let this be our daily practice. By regarding ourselves as centers of abundance, by giving or making ourselves centers of distribution, or better still, facilitators of circulation of that particular abundance. And that must translate into other areas of our lives as well. The better we do thus with the mindset of putting into circulation the abundance that was gifted to us, the better we realize abundance percolating all spheres of our lives. Again, the better we do become centers of distribution of life's gifts and not to hoard, with the mindset of putting into circulation life's gifts, the better we realize abundance in all spheres of our lives. Abundance must show in every facet of our lives, i.e., the better we fulfill this role as centers of distribution, just like a river, all the current that are received at a particular point is transmitted, and they never cease having fresh current. The better we do fulfill this role as centers of distribution, like a river, the more we receive beyond our needs. And since our beings, our beliefs have thereby been confirmed, we keep the circulation, and consequently with gratitude, thereby evolving blissfully, which is the goal of every speck of consciousness on this planet. Blissful evolution. Abundance is our birthright. Wherever we see this, it's either it's been consciously accepted or unconsciously no restrictions were placed on the law of abundance or opulence. Again, wherever abundance shows itself, it's either it was consciously accepted or unconsciously no restrictions were placed on the law. The converse is equally true. Wherever there is scarcity of anything, it is either we have consciously accepted that scarcity of that particular object or condition, or we have unconsciously placed restrictions on the law of abundance or opulence. Let us give ourselves some challenge. Let us try to remember back in high school or college, anyone who we think did consciously acknowledge this law of abundance or unconsciously did not place restrictions on how abundantly they can live. You know, those that we thought have this mindset built in them, let us try to think about them for a minute. And let us fast forward 10, 20, 30 years. If we have access to them, we know they are still opulent. And opulence shows through most part of their lives. We are not talking about those people that were just coming from wealthy homes, even though it helps, because then they cannot not believe in it because they live it by virtue of being from the family. It is easier to think opulently when you are surrounded by it. However, the ability to think about any condition or abide in the belief of the law of abundance can equally transform any situation which may be in direct opposite to our current condition. We can create whatever we so desire with our minds. So most often than not, to come from a wealthy home, just like the nurturing of confidence, it is easier to inculcate better beliefs about opulence than to be brought up in a home where even 3 balanced meals a day were hard to come by. Again, folks, opulence run through every living thing. If we are living, then we must be opulent in our daily activities. It is our birthright. Not only some particular accepted forms, which is consciously placing restrictions on the maximum and most effective oppression of the law, but opulence must show in everything, from doing more than expected of us as wives, husbands, fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, in-laws, corporate staffs, leaders of countries. Let us give more than it is expected of us. Let us be kinder to those who show us kindness, and also to those who show us hatred. To live blissfully, we must put in circulation everything good in our lives, even our breath. No one would continue to live should we hold anything all the way to the oxygen we take into our body. Rather, let us put everything into good circulation. Everything. And everything must always return back to us better, bigger, and more effortlessly. Again, everything we put into good circulation must always return back to us more abundantly. Let us give liberally beyond our needs, and abundance must we reap if we do go about our daily activities barely doing enough with the mindset of scarcity. Barely doing enough as fathers, barely doing enough as mothers, barely doing enough as paid staffs of a particular corporation or establishment, then that scarcity mindset would be where our consciousness would reside for the most part of our lives. And scarcity, fruit or harvest, must we reap. Guaranteed. Unfortunately. Just as all water bodies terminate in the ocean, similarly, all these laws are subservient to the mother-father law of consciousness. And that is, consciousness creates wherever it is directed. Wherever we direct our aspect of consciousness, the essence of that must be realized. So, if we do so towards scarcity, fruits of scarcity, either in health, wealth, or happiness, unfortunately, must we reap. Conversely, if we do direct our consciousness towards entering into the spirit of abundance and letting it show in our daily activities of giving everything more than being expected, with that spirit of abundance shall we manifest through every part of our lives, and our evolution shall be incredibly blissful, and gratitude to ultimate consciousness shall flow from us organically, effortlessly. Again, folks, environment can either be enabling or otherwise. For example, if you live in some developed country, like for example the United States, it is easier to develop this consciousness of abundance as you see it all around you, in every form, in nature, in material possession, in money. And you are even expected culturally to give more than expected. When you're eating at a restaurant, sometimes we cringe at this. But let us always remember, whenever we are giving a tip or gratuity, tips or gratuity, that we are keeping in circulation abundance of life, and abundance must we reap. We should never tip or give gratuity with a scarcity mindset. You're gonna do it anyway, so why don't we do so with an abundant mindset? So what we are giving or keeping in circulation shall return back to us bigger, better, and effortlessly. A country like the United States takes one day to thank ultimate consciousness, providence, for the life of abundance being provided, i.e., Thanksgiving. And we do urge all countries on the planet that they, if they have not yet done so, should institute one day to thank Providence for abundant life. And abundance must translate into the lives of that country better than before. Elsewhere in the good old book, it says, and if you are grateful, we shall add more. We shall give you more of that. We shall make you more abundant. So the more grateful we are to life, the more abundant we do become. Not only do we see opulence easily whenever we are grateful, but our whole evolution shall be blissful and peace, happiness shall cascade through our being. We shall be the source of light to those who need it the most. So if you're living in a developed country where abundance is practiced, it is very easy to think opulently. However, if we do reside in countries where we don't see this, we can still look around us and see how abundant the trees, the fish in our ocean, how abundant everything, how abundant nature is. By so doing, we can develop that opulent mindset and then regard ourselves as centers of distribution, thereby not holding any good thing, but putting it into virtuous circulation. Consequently, abundance must show in every part of our lives. Life, again, is meant to be lived abundantly, folks. There are no scarcity in nature. Everything is produced abundantly. And wherever we don't see this, then we are using the laws against ourselves. Once again, this was the Living Life short discourse on opulence. And remember, life is abundant. Opulence is our birthright. If we cannot consciously help the law, the best thing for us to do is to get out of the way for it to translate into our lives. In our daily lives and activities, let us see all the abundance around us, from the fish in the sea to the flowers and the plants in our gardens and our farms, all the way to the birds in the air and on the trees. There are essentially plethora of everything. Life is abundant. Abundance is living. God bless you, your family, and the planet. See you all very soon.